Good evening, and welcome along to the big show here on NVTV. What a great lineup of guests we have for you this evening, including the Kaiser Chiefs frontman Ricky Wilson. I'll be chatting to him. We'll be catching up with Boyzone's Shane Lynch, and we'll have music from The Long Stay and the Minnows. But starting us off on the big show this week, we're going to find out about a gripping new murder mystery set in Belfast. It's by Linda Hagan. It's called The Perfume Killer. And I'm pleased to say the lady herself joins us in the studio. Linda, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for inviting me along.
Well, thank you for joining us. First of all, congratulations on the book. I'm seeing great reviews online already for this from all over the world.
Yes, I know that's what's surprising. It seems to be doing well in Canada and America, which is great.
Brilliant. Okay, tell us about the story then. Set in Belfast, it's a German person gets murdered in Botanic Gardens. Is that correct?
That is correct. It is set mainly in Belfast and Carrickfergus, between the two. It's the story of a detective chief inspector, and her name is Gan Gervin. She's come back to live in Northern Ireland, having lived away for a while, and she is called to this murder. A German, they presume, tourist in Botanic Gardens. But it quickly becomes clear that he's much more than a tourist, and they've got to kind of follow up on that. And there's all sorts of red herrings I've put in there, I hope, and a nice, exciting denouement, and also for the ladies, a little bit of romance.
Ah,
yes.
Right, okay. Now, on your social media this week, I've been quite intrigued because you've been posting various places that many people out there will recognise, and I would imagine they all feature in the book, yeah?
They do, absolutely. I started that off and I thought it would be nice for people to see. And actually, it's worked really well because as well as the people in Northern Ireland who obviously recognise the Botanic Gardens or recognise the marina in Carrickfergus, I'm getting feedback from England, from America, from people who've been here, maybe lived here a long time ago, or people who've never been here, and they say, gosh, it's really nice to see the pictures of the places in your book. So I'm going to carry that on.
So we mentioned the marina in Carrickfergus there. I think it must be the first time ever we've had something set in Carrickfergus, especially a murder mystery. No,
actually it's not.
Really?
Yes, there is another very famous writer from Carrickfergus, a guy called Adrian McKinty, and the book that I've read by him, and he's written quite a few, it actually takes place in Carrickfergus Castle.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
wow,
yeah.
Okay, I must check that out.
Yeah.
Now, it seems Northern Ireland are producing many crime writers these days, and you guys are all doing well, you know, it's working, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. There's quite a nice little community, and I don't know if you want me to tell you about how I got into this, because I came in, it was because of COVID, would you believe, and the lockdown. And I took an online creative writing class, which was funded by the Arts Council and facilitated by another local writer, a man called James Murphy. Yeah. You maybe know James.
He's on the show many times, yes.
Great guy. And he took the class, he led us through, you know, how to go about it, how to plan it. He got us writing little scenes. And that's really where it all started for me. Yeah, so, but I mean, there is that community of writers, and they're very supportive. And it's great now to sort of feel that, well, I'm kind of a junior member of it.
So they say everybody has a book in them. So was this something you wanted to do for a long time, or was it just lockdown?
Well, no, I was an English teacher for over 30 years. So obviously I've always read a lot. And you always hear people saying, oh, I could write as well as that. Well, I never said that, but I said I'd love to write as well as that. Yeah. And, but for me, it was never having the time. You know, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother now, I was a teacher, I studied at Queen's part-time, you know. So there was always so much going on. And then that space to do anything opened up last year. And, you know, we went further than our own back gardens. And it was great just to do that and to escape into that world of the imagination.
Wow, now already you're thinking about the second book, aren't you?
The second book is just back from my editor, and it's going to be out this year.
Wow. And
the third book just went to them at the beginning of this week for editing.
So what can we expect from these? Are they follow-ons? Are they standalone stories?
No, they're standalone in a sense, but they feature the same central character, Gan Gervin. And I've kind of moved out a little bit. So book 2, we maybe go up to the north coast a little. We go into Donegal. And book 3, we head down to County Down. So I'm trying to move around and give everybody a fair chance.
All right, brilliant. It sounds good. It sounds amazing. As I said, the feedback so far has been amazing from across the world. If people want to get their hands on this, how can they do that?
Very easily, just one click away at Amazon. You can buy it on Kindle or in paperback.
Brilliant. And how did you find the whole process of writing? Did you enjoy it when you sat down to do it?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Spent about 2 hours every morning, 2 hours every night, and dreamt about it, and woke up the next morning to write the next chapter. Yeah, absolutely loved it.
Brilliant. And if people want to follow you on social media, they can do that as well, because you are giving away a lot of clues and stuff on there, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. You get the link at the Book Folks, who are my publishers. Just click on the link there and you'll get to it all.
Brilliant. Linda, the best of luck with the book and
Thank
the
you.
next 2 as well. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you very much.
Right, time for some music now, and the Minnows are back with a great new album called Californian Poppy. The first single from the album has done very well. It's called Where Have All the Good Times Gone? Here's the video. Here's the Minnows.
Where were you when the sun went down? Where were you when the sky turned gray? Where were you when the band struck up the opening chords of another rainy day? Now there's one thing I know, I need you now, I need you now, I need you now, my darling. I remember when we were young, things were uncomplicated, life was fun, thinking of ways just to spend our days, instead of wondering where have the good times gone. Now there's one thing I know, I need you now, I need you now, I need you now, my darling. If you say you don't want me, if you say you don't need me, if you say you don't miss me, if you say you don't love me, then I guess that it's time for me to say goodbye.
Great song from the Minnows. That's called Where Have All the Good Times Gone from the album A Californian Poppy. We'll have some more music a little bit later on from The Long Stay. But talking music, we're going to meet the Kaiser Chiefs frontman now, Ricky Wilson, and find out about a brand new art project that he's involved in. Here's what happened when I met Ricky Wilson.
Now
we're talking art, and a new eco-friendly art piece is being created using cartons and other reusable materials. Kaiser Chiefs lead singer Ricky Wilson is also a keen artist, and he was the guy who was tasked with designing and creating the masterpiece. Let's find out more because he joins us on the line. Ricky, how are you, sir?
I am very well indeed. Yeah, it's a lovely day here, and I'm just excited to show the world what I did in a field in Yorkshire, and it was a good thing I did. So Arla, lacto-free, asked me to make a 25 metre by 25 metre piece of art. That's the biggest piece of art I've ever done in one of their fields in Yorkshire, in Settle, which is where they've actually relocated. And to make the artwork, I was using some of their planet-friendly cartons. Now, these new cartons, I like the fact that Arla lacto-free. They're committed to sustainability and protecting the environment. So they've got these 100% renewable material cartons that are made more out of natural materials. And I was allowed to use 1,800 of these to make a piece of art. I didn't do it on my own, though. I enlisted some local kids from Settle and Kirkby Primary School. They came along. We used the cartons, we used soil, leaves, we even used wellies. But the important was everything we used was either recyclable or reusable, and the kids all got to take home the wellies, so that was great. But I just think the message is great, and it highlights, not only the carton's greener credentials, but also the fact that it's weird because people of my age are kind of in the middle of all this, and we grew up being told to turn the lights out and stuff like that by parents. But when you talk to the kids, they're so switched on when it comes to environmental matters. They're our future, and there is a lot of hope. And I know we all watch TV and it's doom and gloom, and there's it's 5 seconds to midnight on the clock or whatever, and it's trying to scare you into doing something. But the kids don't see it like that. They have a different approach, which is like they want to do something and they want to be part of saving the planet. And they're the future consumers as well, so they'll be voting with their wallet. And if you're a company and you don't make pledges like this or strides or commitment to sustainability, then they're gonna move towards the companies that do. So it's really great. And Arla lacto-free were fantastic and really helpful, and helped make this art piece what it is. And you can see it online now. You can get more information at arlafoods.co.uk. I'm just about to stick a picture of it on my Instagram. So it's going to be great.
So the big question is, how long did it take to actually create this art piece then?
Too long. I thought we'd get it done in a couple of hours. It took about 8 hours. And it was a hot day as well. But we had a lot of fun, drank a lot of lemonade, and had a lot of milk. Drank a lot of milk, sorry.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. A lot of Arla lacto-free milk we drank, and I'm lactose intolerant myself, and I haven't had cornflakes in 15 years, and they gave me a couple of free cartons, so that'll keep me going.
Now, some people may not realise this, but you actually studied graphics and art design at university, and you taught art as well at Leeds University, didn't you?
Leeds College of Art. I was a lecturer for a very short while. I wasn't very good at it, but luckily I had international pop stardom to fall back on. You've got to have a plan B. But yeah, I basically became a teacher because I didn't want to leave university. I was having a whale of a time. I thought, the only way they'll let me stay is if I start teaching it. It's always been part of my life. It's something that everything I learned to do with art, I continue to use every day in being in the band. And, even they unleashed me on CBBC now doing art shows. So I'm more than happy to show that it can really enrich your life. And it was a great way, making a big piece of artwork, to kind of, highlight, the protecting the planet, and how Arla lacto-free are making it, strides in doing that. It's good.
Now, what's happening with the Kaiser Chiefs these days?
Still going. That will come as a disappointment to thousands. But the only reason we're still going is because there's just a slight amount more that are happy to see us. And yeah, we're still going, still doing gigs. We're still writing. Got to hand something in September. Pretty nervous about that. It's still, it's still homework. But yeah, we started doing gigs again. Did one last week, one the week before, and we've got one on Sunday in Scarborough. Again, Yorkshire. It seems to all be going back to Yorkshire for me at the moment.
Brilliant. I'm going to mention something else to you. Throughout the whole lockdown period, there was one particular podcast that I listened to that actually got me through lockdown, and it was your detective agency with the legendary Tony Blackburn. That was just a genius of an idea.
Yeah, well, it turns out that it's illegal to be a celebrity and either not have a podcast or write a children's book. And so I wrote a children's book, and then I did a podcast because, yeah, it's what you have to do, apparently. But they said, do you want to do a podcast? And I said, I will only do it if I can do it with Tony Blackburn, thinking that was a way out.
Yeah.
But then they said, Tony's up for it. And I was like, well, that's great. If I get to sit in a room with Tony Blackburn for a few hours every week, brilliant. So we did it, and it's a lot of fun. We did a version during lockdown where it was over like this. Mm-hmm. And although it was great, we had a laugh. The reason for doing it is just to be in the room with Tony. So as soon as we can safely get back, sitting opposite each other, laughing until we're crying again, we're going to get back doing that.
So yeah, it looked like you were having such a good time when you were doing those.
I know. So the premise is this: if you haven't heard it, it's me and Tony are pop detectives, and we either prove or dispel pop myths that have been going around for years. Some I can't mention on this. There's some quite dodgy ones, but there are some clean ones. Like, I think the first one we ever did was Debbie Harry claimed that she was once picked up in a car by Ted Bundy. And I was intrigued with this, but right from the off, Tony was like, nonsense. No, absolute nonsense. No. And that's why I love it. And we always interview two experts in the field. And that always, if you've heard it, that always kind of collapses into Tony just being more and more ridiculous. The
experts really didn't have a clue what was going on at all. I mean, it was just, some of the comments and the responses were just hilarious.
I know. When he asks an expert in Ted Bundy what perfume she's wearing, that was hilarious.
Oh, brilliant. Well, let's hope we have some more. Congratulations on the art piece. I've seen it. We're going to stick it up on the screen now as well. It looks absolutely fabulous. And, of course, doing some good for the environment as well.
And, I can't thank the people at Arla Lacto Free enough to let me do it. It's brilliant. And, they're doing a good job of making their, planet-friendly cartons. And it was great to, highlight that. So, thanks, and have a look, and you'll see what it's all about.
We will indeed. Ricky, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Right, let's meet our next guest. And Boyzone's Shane Lynch is currently busier than ever. He's got a brand new music project called Boys on Block. He's just opened a new bar called D13 in Knutsford. And he's also still driving around in fast cars as well. Here's what happens when I caught up with Shane Lynch recently. Ladies and gentlemen, look how I found the one and only Mr. Shane Lynch. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you. And yes, you do find me somewhere all around the world, in fairness to you.
Every time I've seen you, I've known you for many years, there's always fast cars involved. This one, I have to say, is the most impressive I've seen.
It's a pretty beautiful machine. It's kind of new into, I won't say my collection, but we're kind of working with the company Arash. It's an AF10. To develop the kind of road future for this car. It's more track based, it is a concept car, it's a prototype for sure, but nonetheless it has a reasonable price tag of 1.2 million, somewhere there.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, that's a lot of car, that really is.
It'll suit you actually, I think.
I think so, I think so. Pauline keeps saying to me, when are you going to learn how to drive? When are you going to take the plunge and do it? That would make me want to learn to drive.
Amen.
That really
that.
would.
Of course.
Shane, we've seen you on TV recently on the Dream Machine thing. We've been watching it on Facebook. all about fast cars. People watching that will go, my God, he's got the best job in the world.
I probably do, or hobbies in the world. Maybe.
Yes.
I don't know if you call them jobs, because everything I do, I want to make sure that it's something of big interest to me. I think when you go to work, and you go to work because you have to earn money in that respect, it can be hard. Yes, we all have to earn money, but I like to do it in such a way that it's what my passion is. I believe in it, and as long as I know what I'm talking about, it's more important to me. And I think the likes of Dream Machine, that was a TV show we did for Series 1. It's kind of parked at the moment, and this new project has developed, which is Assetti. And Assetti pretty much is taking the best cars in the world and making them better. That's pretty much what we do. So it's all aftermarket upgrade mods to Porsches, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and such development like this Arash.
Right, okay. I'm wondering now where you get time for the hobbies, because not only do you have this, but last night I was in your bar. You've opened a bar as well.
I did. Opened an Irish bar. And do you know what? I think we looked for a long time, me and my business partner talking about, and my wife, the concept of a bar. I always wanted a bar.
Yeah.
So we looked at different concepts and what to do and how to do it. I'm an Irishman. Why have to look any further than that? Let's open an Irish bar. So we did. It's called D13, and D13, plain and simple, is my postcode from where I grew up as a kid, Dublin 13. It's in quite an affluent town called Knutsford, which is it's in Cheshire, just outside of Manchester. And we're open maybe 2 odd months or so, and it's been amazing. The town of Knutsford would definitely open their arms to D13. We're very blessed.
And will you have good Irish music and stuff in it as well?
Yeah, do you know, actually Guinness, they were in and they gave us our 10-star rating, our top of the 100% gold star, 10 out of 10. So we're very happy with that to start with. We're the best pint in town, if you want to call it. And then we have a lovely section where we have the fiddler on the roof, the band on the roof, the outside kind of shenanigans and party session and stuff like that. So it's been amazing.
So they tell me there is a special knack to pouring Guinness. Have you learned how to do it?
Yeah, so the guys again from Guinness came in and trained up the team, and they show you exactly where, when you pull the lever to where to point on the glass that has a specific point with a little harp, and then how much to pull it, how long to leave it for. I think it's, what did I say now? I don't know how many seconds, but it is what, 97 point something seconds or something. I don't know exactly. I don't work in the bar. I just drink the Guinness.
So does this mean you're saying goodbye to the music world now?
I don't think I'll ever say goodbye to the music world. You know me, and you know all the projects that I do extend in love projects, let's call it. But more to the point, recently in the last visit with the Boys on Block, the Block Party, the Block Boys, whatever you want to call us, we've got about 30 gigs this year. And a new record coming out pretty soon with a follow-up of a record we've just recorded with Heather Small.
Wow.
M-People.
Yes.
So, we're looking forward to an interesting end of the year, but almost the start of the music year, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
And see how that goes, because it is a delicate process at the moment. Nobody really knows shutdowns and releases when it's all going to be okay to do what we're doing, and we're still segregated in so many ways, but nonetheless we're gigging, we're out there.
Yeah, brilliant. All right, well, as always, Shane, good to see you.
And you.
Now, we mentioned Shane's new bar in Knutsford, D13. Our very own Pauline Carville was there to catch up with Shane's business partner, Nathan Gerhold. Here's what happened.
So I'm sitting here with Nathan Gerhold. He is a stunt driver, and he also owns this bar that we're sitting in right now. Nathan,
thanks for coming.
Thank you for having us, and what a lovely bar. I'm loving it. Tell me how you decided to set up the bar. And
I'd like to say it's my brainchild only. It's not. It's myself and Shane Lynch, Boys Own Shane. We have been discussing doing this for probably 10 years, owning a bar. Well, I was always away doing driving shows, he was away doing music. Eventually we ended up on the same show as presenters on a new car show called My Dream Machine. And that was in Cheshire, where we are now. And it's like, dude, we're on the same gig at the moment, so let's have a look at doing this bar. We found this place, here we are today. I'll be honest with you, we thought it would be really easy. We'd get a bar, it was somewhere we couldn't get kicked out of. It's been nothing but hard work since, but we're still here.
And of course, during these times, it's quite a difficult time to set up a bar. You've done lots of work. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful. And of course, you know, we can see all the green and the shamrocks. So tell us the theme.
Okay, so essentially this is an Irish bar, but an Irish style bar. So what we wanted to be was, obviously the connection with Shane being Irish, I'm British myself, but Shane being Irish, we wanted to do an Irish bar, but not so old-fashioned. We wanted to bring that into the modern age, so do something, an Irish style bar. So it's very, from the front of the building to the back, it's older Ireland, it gets more progressively more modern. So you come out here and it's just, there's hints of Ireland in here, like we have bands on the roof and there's shamrocks around, but it's not all, with the best will in the world, it's not all fiddly-dee and too old school Irish. It's an Irish style bar, so a modern take on the night.
Brilliant. So, Boyzone, have they come back to sing, or will they come back to sing?
Here or in general?
Here.
Are you looking for the scoop? Hopefully here. I've been trying for that since day one. We've had the boys in, so they've come in individually for drinks, and I'm friends with them, obviously, with the Shane connection, so it's been amazing. Whether they'll do a thing here, I don't know. I'd love to say yes. I'd love that to happen. Whether I can get them all together to do that is probably an impossible task, knowing the guys, because they're always in different parts of the world. Listen, let's never say never.
Never say never. Well, I can't wait to be here for that. Now, we've talked that you're a stuntman, so you've obviously been in movies, so tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so I've been doing it for 20 odd years professionally, but I was mainly teaching it. So I was teaching stunt driving for a long time. Started when I was a baby at 6 years old, and I was fortunate enough, now trying to think of the times, maybe 5 years ago, got signed up to Universal Studios, and I did a big tour for Fast and Furious, a live world tour with that, which was a live arena show. So we took scenes from the movies, recreated them in a live arena, did that, and that kind of exploded my career from then. I've managed to do Mission Impossible for then. I've just actually filmed a big one, which I'm not allowed to talk about at the moment. It will be out next year and starring Uma Thurman, so a big one on that. But currently I've taken a break for the next couple of 3 months, probably till September, just to get this up and running. Then I'm going back and I've got some really cool ones in the pipeline. But like all of these things, I'm never allowed to talk about it until I get the check. Until the check's cleared, I can't tell you much about it. But yeah, done a lot. Some one-to-ones with Tom Cruise along the way, Vin Diesel bits. Yeah, I've done a few bits.
I am so excited to be sitting here with an actual stuntman. And you know what I love about what you've just said is that the fact that you are focusing on the bar and doing the normal stuff as well as all these other exciting things. I am so excited and I can't wait to find out what that movie is. Nathan,
thanks for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Right, time for some more music now, and this time the new single from The Long Stay. This is called Sometimes.
Sometimes I see things are coming. Seem to know when I don't get out of the way. It's when
So that's all we have time for on The Big Show this week. Big thank you to all of my guests, and we'll see you back here same time next week. Bye-bye.